Bingo Blitz rules.
If your bingo has ads in it,
That's not a bingo.
if it doesn't have the coolest tournaments, mini games, and the most breathtaking design,
Nope, not a bingo.
if your bingo moment makes you feel so excited that you just want to burst in joy and scream out loud, bingo! Sorry, so you're playing...
Bingo Blitz? Now that's a bingo. Go for a world of excitement with Bingo Blitz, the #1 free bingo game. Download Bingo Blitz and play for free.
Now that's a bingo.
Sephora stores are everywhere you are. So just pop in when you need a brown lip to match your 90s playlist. A confidence boost before your interview? Or a last-minute gift for mom's birthday. There's always a Sephora near you. Just pop in. Use our store locator to find your local Sephora or Sephora at Kohl's.
Get softer, smoother, and more even-toned skin after just one use with the new Gentle Exfoliating line from Cetaphil. Formulated with a unique triple acid blend that promotes surface skin cell renewal, these gentle chemical exfoliators remove dead skin cells and refine skin's texture while hydrating, resulting in softer, smoother, more even-looking skin. Shop the new Cetaphil Gentle Exfoliating line in the face and body aisles at your local Target store or online at Cetaphil.com.
Happy Tuesday.
You didn't say it how you usually say.
Tuesday?
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 Yes, happy Tuesday. Welcome to a wonderful episode of See You Next Tuesday. Are you excited to be here?
Yeah, I'm a little stressed.
Why are you stressed?
Did you read my text message?
I did, but they didn't.
They didn't. I'm a little stressed because Mott's had some last minute construction at his office, and so he had to work from home today. And we haven't done this in a while. So the coordinating of when he's on a call and we have to record the podcast. And then he was also very confident that he told me the thing I'm about to say, which I dispute wholeheartedly, that the arborists are coming to trim our trees today, which doesn't sound quiet.
No, it's not, because the trees are constantly falling on the house. When they came to my house, first of all, things are flying at my house all the time because of the combs that are on the tree.
Like pine cones? I think
they're not
cones.
pine cones, but they're
But
some
you meant like
type
hair
of,
combs.
No. But it's cones. There's some type of fruiting thing that is falling off the trees all the time. And I constantly am like, what the fuck is that? But it's one of those things. But also this morning, a bird just flew into the window. And I was just like, these windows aren't even clean.
So
this isn't a Windex commercial.
That's been happening for me, and it's been hummingbirds because they get like drunk off the nectar. And I think of Soraya immediately. Join our Patreon if you want to meet Soraya.
Yes, she's great.
She is great.
And she stays up very late to be part of the community. But yeah, when the tree people came, because they had to do the tree in the technically my backyard, but it's on the side of the house. Yeah. Yes. And there's a tree that's in my yard, but it droops more over to the neighbors. And but that was very loud. Yeah.
So TBD, what's it going to be like today?
I will say, usually when we reference something in the background, you can never hear it.
Yeah. I'm just unsure of... I wasn't here the last time they did it. So, I have no idea the scale of the noise or the kind of noise, because depending on the noise, it can make things shake. Yeah. And if it makes things shake, you can hear that. So
stay tuned.
Stay tuned, everybody. But we're going to read the results from last week's episode of But Am I Wrong? And guess who didn't need a reminder to post this? Me.
You. Good job.
Did I post it on the last possible moment before it would become obsolete and it would not be helpful for this episode? Yeah, but hey, still did it. This is for episode 116, Who Was Wrong? First up, we have me. Megan says, don't overstay your welcome. The key look. See? Acting. 1% said I was wrong. 99% said I was not wrong. This is crazy to me. As an autistic girly, it's often hard for me to read social cues, so I'm hyper aware of how I am in different spaces to avoid situations like this. If it wasn't for overstaying her welcome, the TikToks on my wedding day would have sent me over the edge. And then you choose to get in my wedding photos. She's very wrong, and I hope she can fix it before it ruins her business. See, I agree with that wholeheartedly. Like, because again, as somebody who can be far too familiar, like with people, and I have like friends who be like, reel it back, the person doesn't know you, they don't know that you're joking or whatever. Like, I'm so hyper aware of the fact that I can be unaware. So like that whole thing of being like, it's common sense or whatever. I'm like, if you struggle with social cues, you don't grow up to be a fully grown adult who doesn't know that about yourself, because you don't get, unfortunately, you don't get coddled that much. Like, you get told that in like a very straightforward way. Though I did see one of our favorite TikTokers, CultureWorks, basically saying like, all of you bitches who came for this girl saying that she lacks social cues and doesn't know how to be a member of society. When's the last time you bitches turned on your fucking blinker when you changed lanes? And I was like, facts. So like, she's like, you guys, like, everyone wants to say they're so aware, and like, I will only be taking criticism and conversation about this from people who use their turn signals, because I know a lot of you don't, and both of us use our turn signals.
I am very strict about it.
Oh, I backseat drive to everybody if they don't use theirs. I go, no one's gonna know that you're trying to get over.
Right. But you were gonna share last week. You were very eager to share updates because she's been she has been. I stopped following, but she was posting apologies ?
Yeah. So she was like, I'm going to give my side of the story. And everybody was like, babe, we're here because of you. Your side, as of now, like, has kind of been the only one we've really heard. And like, it was bad. And then other people came out of the woodwork when you just like kept digging your heels in about this. Like, you know, and then I'm incredibly impressed that she got up on her story and she said, I'm posting tomorrow. And everybody was like dreading tomorrow. And then she got up there and she said, you know what? I've listened. I watched all your think pieces. I'm actually not going to say anything. And I think it can be done.
But the thing is, she said so much before it even got to that point.
No.
Because she posted these quote unquote apology videos. And it would start out with a sincere apology. But then by 30 seconds in, and we've still got 5 minutes left, she is just doubling, tripling, quadrupling down on everything that she did and everything that she's done in the past.
Yeah. And so now she's like, okay, I'm going to take a step back now. I go, after you've said it all. Like, there's not much that you like haven't said. And then she said one thing, and I know it was coming from like a kind place, but I was like, don't say that, because after everything you've done, it does sound like a threat, where she was like, I wish them a long and happy marriage. And I was like, I don't know that you do. Like, it didn't sound sincere, like, at all, because every time that she's like, everybody was being so nice to me, or so I thought. Like, they all loved hanging out with me, or so I thought. Like, she was always adding in this like other like sinister kind of level. So when she says like, I wish them nothing but a happy and healthy marriage, I'm like, oh, like, what's the or what? Like, it was just so odd. And it's like, unfortunate because like the makeup shows is beautiful.
And that's what everybody said. Even like the other vendors that were coming out that have worked with her as little as the day before were saying like everybody was happy with the makeup, but it was just her whole vibe was off. And sometimes like you can put up with it, but then like these people got to their breaking point.
She broke them.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's like, being in a like service industry of like personal maintenance, whether that's like nails or makeup or hair or whatever, but specifically makeup and hair, your personality, it is like, she's not wrong. It is 99% of it. So it is deeply unfortunate that that's actually you think is your strongest asset, and it is your downfall. Like, that is a disconnect that like really should be sat with to work on. Because usually it's like, oh, I love their vibe, but the makeup's not that great. It's not that.
Yeah.
And the makeup's so good that like your vibe has to be pretty fucking bad. So, and I will say, I do love the fact that this has become a promotion opportunity for other makeup artists in the similar region, being like, hey, and I'll leave as soon as I'm done. I'll set your face and then I'm out.
Yeah. And you know what? There might have been some people that did stay. And then they saw that and then were like, let me get in on this opportunity and say that I don't.
Yep.
Someone else said, people like this either end up voting for Trump or not at all. I hate people who can't see the nuance in situations like this. Although I don't agree with every decision the Democratic Party has made, those choices weren't made by Kamala Harris alone, and I have faith she will change it. Some act so badly like they are God's moral compasses on earth, but they end up doing more damage than good.
Yep. The cartoon on this one is from like the comics subreddit. I would encourage everyone, if you just type in the undecided voter comics Reddit, there's like a multi-slide one that this person made, and it's very fucking funny. It's like, should I wear a top hat or should I put like a cage on my head that's full of bees?
Oh my gosh.
And it just gets more and more ridiculous.
All right. So Melissa thinks undecided voters are media whores. 4% said I was wrong. 96% said I was not wrong. Someone said, I completely agree with Melissa because at this point, how can you be undecided? These two candidates couldn't possibly be more different. It just baffles me. My sentiments exactly.
As a podcast network, our first priority has always been audio and the stories we're able to share with you. But at Realm, we also sell some pretty cool merch, and organizing that was made both possible and easy with Shopify. When you think about successful businesses like Aloe or Allbirds or Skims, an often overlooked secret is the business behind the business that makes selling and, for shoppers, buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. That's because nobody does selling better than Shopify. It's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not-so-secret secret that's definitely worth talking about is that Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%. That's more happy customers and way more sales going. If you're hoping to grow your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more, sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm.
With something like 5 million podcasts, finding a really good one can take a ton of time. So let me recommend one. It's called Something You Should Know. I'm the host, Mike Carruthers, and in each episode, we discuss topics that can be really helpful, like how to read people better, the psychology of crowds, or fun things like the story of Legos, or why you probably wouldn't be here if it weren't for horses. Something You Should Know is the name of it, wherever you get your podcasts.
What's up, everyone? It's Noah Daniels.
Hey, y'all. I'm JJ.
Hey, guys. It's Kat.
And we're your hosts of the Real Hauntings podcast, where we bring on guests who share their first-hand encounter ghost stories and supernatural experiences. Now on to the trailer.
I've been warned to not tell this story, but I think because of the way it ends, it's okay to tell this story, because some people say that with certain entities, to like speak of them or talk about them or in any way like portray them as powerful will attract them to other people. The creepiest thing about it to me is a lot of times it would wait for me to notice it. Like, it would just lay its arm out like this, and then I'd be like, where is it? Where is it? And then I'd see it, and then it would just slither back.
For more information on the Real Hauntings, Real Ghost Stories podcast, make sure you check out Real.fm to learn more about our podcast and many other amazing podcasts.
Then we have writer number 1. Would it be wrong not to tell your BFF that your mystery man is her brother? This is a little shocking to me. 83% said the writer is wrong. 17% said the writer is not wrong.
Can you explain the image to me?
Yeah, this is from The Edge of 17, which I have not seen this movie.
Oh.
But I know the movie. Like, I know the references deeply.
Mm-hmm.
It's also, like, cited as, like, so many people will be like, think of, like, a young teen coming of age movie. Like, Edge of 17 vibe. Like, that's, like, one of ones. And it's Haley Steinfeld and Haley Lou Richardson, and they're like best friends, and her best friend starts dating her brother.
Got it.
And Woody Harrelson plays a teacher in it. And the reason why I haven't watched it is like, for some reason, the stills just give me the vibe that like, I don't like that. Like, I don't like the relationship he has with her as a student. Okay. And I'm like very afraid of anytime a television show or a movie shows like a student who's like very close to the teacher, I go, I'm actually out unless you can confirm to me that this is not creepy.
Unless he is Mr. Feeney.
Feeney, but also he was a neighbor, and there's that's a whole different dynamic.
Exactly.
Somebody said, somebody come get her. Writers already mentioned Mystery Man and therefore is wrong for not telling BFF. I hope you guys are forever, but if not, you should have ended it yesterday and told BFF immediately. Facts. Definitely not wrong to not say anything at all, but I really hope the writer can finesse this in her favor. Iconic picture choice, by the way. Awesome. Someone else said this is like a plotline from a TV show. It always blows up. Yeah, that's one where it's like when you've seen people make the mistake in both real life and fiction, and like you still make those choices. I'm like,
sometimes it works out.
Totally, but then mimic how it does in the movie.
Mm-hmm. And then we've got writer number 2. Would it be wrong to continue to take myself on monthly dates now that I'm in a relationship? 4% said the writer is wrong. 96% said the writer is not wrong. Someone said self-care is so important. Keep taking yourself on dates. If future conflicts come up and one is ticketed or only a specific day, go to that one. But if both are flexible, don't feel guilty keeping your solo dates.
Agree.
Another person said, I think I voted wrong. Prioritize yourself, queen. Any friend that disagrees needs some self-reflection to start prioritizing themselves as well. I have a man and a baby. You've inspired me to start scheduling my own solo dates. That's cute. As someone who's never been in a relationship before, even I know the importance of caring for yourself outside of being in a relationship. It's important to have time to yourself just to enjoy you for who you are. Being in a relationship should only add to the care that you give yourself. If you're scheduling every once in a while wouldn't make the writer upset, then I say go for it. If she wants to keep this date sacred, then her boyfriend will just have to adjust. And that's very insightful.
Then we have locked bracelets. That was my nomination for Wrong of the Week, locked bracelets, and 93% said locked is wrong, 7% said locked is not wrong. And I don't think someone said whoever's running their socials and customer service needs to be fired. So turns out, and I don't know how I didn't know this sooner, it's a man.
When you told this, I just assumed it was a man. But like, it's nothing about it like made me think it wasn't a man.
He looks like a British gym bro. Parentheses derogatory.
That's exactly how I pictured him in my head.
And as soon as I saw him, I said, Meghan, of course this is what he looked like. What were you? I didn't have any idea in my head of what he looked like, but I just felt like an idiot being like, you should have predicted this. You can't let out that little gasp when you see him on screen. But yeah, he's just like, it was just so fucking weird.
Yeah.
Still wrong.
And then we've got Wrong of the Week, George Clooney, who's wrong. 96% said that George is wrong. 4% said George is not wrong. Someone said white men will always be wrong in my mind.
Merry Christmas, everybody! My name is Eric Peterson. I'm here with my good buddy,
Danny Jordan.
And we are the hosts of Christmas Countdown Show.
We're so thrilled to be bringing the merriment to you all this holiday season. On Christmas Countdown, we love to count down our top 10 favorite things related to the holiday season. That could be food, movies, music, everything that we all love about this massively merry good time. So wherever you get your podcasts, make sure you click that subscribe button. Eric, are you ready?
I am ready, and we hope that you are too. Merry Christmas, everybody! Let's go!
Do you love Disney? Then you are going to love our hit podcast, Disney Countdown. I'm Megan, the Magical Millennial.
And I'm the Dapper Danielle.
On every episode of our fun and family-friendly show, we count down our top 10 lists of all things Disney. There is nothing we don't cover.
We are famous for rabbit holes, Disney-themed games, and fun facts you didn't know you needed, but you definitely need in your life. So if you're looking for a healthy dose of Disney magic, check out Disney Countdown wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey everyone, join me, Megan Rinks.
And me, Melissa DeMonts, for Don't Blame Me, But Am I Wrong?
Each week, we deliver 4 fun-filled shows.
In Don't Blame Me, we tackle our listeners' dilemmas with hilariously honest advice.
Then we have But Am I Wrong, which is for the listeners that didn't take our advice. Plus, we share our hot takes on current events.
Then tune in to see you next Tuesday for our listener poll results from But Am I Wrong?
And finally, wrap up your week with Fisting Friday, where we catch up and talk all things pop culture.
Listen to Don't Blame Me, But Am I Wrong on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Another person said, we have to go with different expectations for people here because I love George. Not saying he's perfect, but he's done a lot of good in his life, and I've always hated Brad Pitt. Also, Brad Pitt is a grown man. Usually I try to be respectful of people's opinions, but in this case, no, because you are the company that you keep. And I just want to, hold on, let me find. All right, so this is the lawsuit that Angelina Jolie filed against Brad Pitt. And this is like direct quotes from it. Pitt choked one of the children and struck another in the face and grabbed Jolie by the head and shook her. Pitt grabbed Jolie by the head and shook her and then grabbed her shoulders and shook her again before pushing her into the bathroom wall. Pitt then punched the ceiling of the plane numerous times, prompting Jolie to leave the bathroom. When one of the children verbally defended Jolie, Pitt lunged at his own child and Jolie grabbed him from behind to stop him. To get Jolie off his back, Pitt threw himself backwards into the plane seat, injuring Jolie's back and elbow. The children rushed in and all bravely tried to protect each other. Before it was over, Pitt choked one of the children and struck another in the face. Some of the children pleaded with Pitt to stop. They were all fighting. Many were crying. Jolie then arranged for separate transportations at the airport to bring her and her children to a hotel without Pitt. She then went to wake Pitt up and told him that she and the children were going to a hotel. Pitt once again screamed at her and pushed her down yet again. Somebody that portrays himself as someone that's here to like have justice and be a good person does not support a person like that.
Yeah, like nobody, like if your best friend, if your like partner's best friend did that and your partner stayed friends with that person, I would go, you are not a safe person for me. Mm-hmm. Your friend's not just a safe person for me. I know that. I now know that you are not a safe person for me because you condone interpersonal relationship violence like that in front of your children, let alone just doing it as a whole. And then you're going to get litigious about it. Like you want, you want to be legally protected to have been able to do this and face no repercussions financially for your fucking winery and like all this other shit. Like it's just, that's not something like to look past that. And like even to view it of being like, well, we actually don't know if they're really good friends. It's like publicity in Hollywood. And I go, okay, so that's to me even worse that it's like, you know, that you would get more bad press by not being friends with a man who abused his wife than you would maintaining a friendship with him, even if it's just to keep up appearances. You have the power to change that. Like you actually are one of the most successful, powerful men in Hollywood that you could make a stance of saying, I'm completely against this. And therefore, anybody who would then associate with Brad Pitt, who would hire him or anything like that, would be shunned. You control that.
George Clooney literally does not have to work a day in his life. He chose to be in this film with Brad Pitt. If he would have came to the studio and been like, hey, I do want to make this movie and this is who I want to be in it. They came as a package deal. He could have picked anybody else. Anybody else.
You know who he could have picked to say he wants to do a movie with? Angelina Jolie.
Yeah. Yep.
So, yeah.
If he wanted to be with one of his friends, he could have picked Sandra Bullock, but like Angelina Jolie would have really made a stance.
Yeah, it would have made a huge fucking statement that like, and yeah, it makes me like irate to think that he can separate himself from his friends' actions when you can if you're no longer friends with that person.
Right.
But like, that's like being friends with a rapist and being like, well, he doesn't condone rape. And I'm like, but he does.
Right.
And how do you think that condoning rape is not like the weight of what that means? The weight of what that means is not like, oh, well, circumstantial in this specific situation. I go, no. This means that this man can look past it if he finds it warranted.
Yep.
So,
and in the way that you said that Brad Pitt is a grown man, so is George Clooney, and he could have made whatever decision he wanted. And this is the decision that he made.
Yeah, they're both responsible.
And he's going to continue to make it because, like I mentioned in the original one, he said that they're trying to make the next Ocean's movie too.
Yeah, and like Brad Pitt is responsible for his own actions, and so is George Clooney. And being friends with him is his own action, and he's responsible for that.
Yep.
God, can you like, it makes me like sick to think about like the people who stand by people who like abuse their spouses and they have to go through the physical abuse of that. They have to go
not just their spouse and their children too.
Exactly. And you have to go through that and like you have to take care of your children. You have to treat them or care for them because they have also been abused. Well, you have also been abused, like doing all of this kind of shit and then being like, someone being like, hey, no hard feelings, but like, yeah, I'm still friends with him, but like, I'm still cool with you. And it's like, bitch, no, you're fucking not. Like, it's just like, it's pathetic. That's really what it is. Like, it's so pathetic. So, yeah. Well,
that's the end of this episode.
If you enjoyed this episode and you're like, this sounds fun, I want to write in for the next one. You can write in and we can read it on our But Am I Wrong, like actual show, maybe as a submission, or you can just vote and leave your thoughts and feelings replying to the Instagram stories for the next one. And you'll hear from us again on a Tuesday.
Yes, because you'll see us
next Tuesday.
Goodbye.
Welcome to the small town of Chinook, where faith runs deep and secrets run deeper. In this new thriller, religion and crime collide when a gruesome murder rocks the isolated Montana community. Everyone is quick to point their fingers at a drug-addicted teenager, but local deputy Ruth Vogel isn't convinced. She suspects connections to a powerful religious group. Enter federal agent V.B. Laureau, who has been investigating a local church for possible criminal activity. The pair form an unlikely partnership to catch the killer, unearthing secrets that leave Ruth torn between her duty to the law, her religious convictions, and her very own family. But something more sinister than murder is afoot, and someone is watching Ruth. Chinook, starring Kelly Marie Tran and Sanaa Lathan. Listen to Chinook wherever you get your podcasts.
Contained herein are the heresies of Radolf Buntwine, erstwhile monk turned traveling medical investigator. Join me as I study the secrets of the divine plagues and uncover the blasphemous truth that ours is not a loving God, and we are not its favored children. The heresies of Radolf Buntwine, wherever podcasts are available.
I'm Brennan Storr.
I'm Paul Bestall.
We're the Ghost Story Guys.
And every 2 weeks, we explore first-person stories of encounters with the paranormal from all around the world.
Then we have some fun reacting to those stories. We like to say our goal is to scare the hell out of you, then make you laugh.
Belief in the paranormal is not required. All you need is a love of great storytelling and curiosity about the world around you.
Subscribe to the Ghost Story Guys now on your favorite podcatcher to hear episodes like High Strangeness in Chicago, The Mystery of Missing Time, and The Haunting of Vietnam, along with dozens of others.
We've talked about mythical bridges, doppelgangers, haunted seaside towns, and so much more.
Remember that story about the guy who was trapped inside a dream and something was hunting him? That was upsetting.
Yes it was.
Want us to help ruin your sleep? Come find the Ghost Story Guys on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere else fine podcasts live, or at ghoststoryguys.com.